Let's familiarize ourselves with the flight instruments. The cockpit is most often divided into sections to help in identifying our different instruments. We have the flight instruments. These are the 6 basic instruments used. We have the engine instruments, which show us relevant information about our engine. The navigation instruments show us where we're going and how to get there. And our radios show us the frequencies we are tuned to. This includes who we are speaking to, which navigation devices we are tuned to, what information we are giving to air traffic control and other planes, and GPS navigation information. As well, our autopilot information. Let's start with our flight instruments and get some more familiarity with them. The airspeed indicator is the top left usually. We use it in all phases of flight as well as all types of flying. It basically measures the difference between the static pressure in the environment and the dynamic pressure of the airflow. The airspeed is measured in knots, which is nautical miles per hour. And it's roughly 2 kilometers per hour for every knot. The flight attitude indicator is next to the airspeed indicator in the center. It's also known as the artificial horizon, but really, the artificial horizon is just the backplate of the flight attitude indicator that has the blue and brown colors. The flight attitude indicator gives a representation of the sky and ground in front of us for when we're unable to see outside. Proper piloting involves looking outside to set an attitude, and not with this instrument. The flight attitude indicator is for use in instrument conditions when you can't see outside. Many an instructor has had their hands full trying to stop someone who learned to fly on flight sim from using this as their reference attitude. The altimeter rounds out the top tier of flight instruments. It is at the top right, and measures altitude in usually feet, sometime meters. It reads like a clock, and increases are shown in clockwise direction. Decreases are shown in an anti-clockwise direction. All aeronautical charts have the height of terrain in feet, above a reference to sea level. Weather is also measured in this way. The instrument shows tens of feet, hundreds of feet, and thousands of feet, as well as tens of thousands of feet. The turn coordinator is usually around the lower left of this sort of setup. It has 2 parts to it. The airplane symbol in the top section shows the rate of turn we have. The current position on screen shows a rate 1 turn, which we will discuss in the turning lesson. The ball in the tube is the actual turn coordinator. It shows how well the turn is balanced in regards to the sideslip, as we discussed earlier in this video. The ball in the center means it is balanced. The direction indicator shows our direction in degrees. It's set off the compass, and works off a gyro system, and needs to be reset periodically. It's much easier to read in flight than a compass. The vertical speed indicator shows the rate at which we are climbing or descending. It also shows a 0 for level flight. It has much lag, and is only useful in confirming you have set the attitude correctly, not in setting the attitude. It has measurements in hundreds and then thousands of feet. It currently shows a 700 feet per minute rate of descent. What you'd expect to see in this phase of flight. Engine RPM is the last on our list. It shows the power output of the engine, and is used in conjunction with attitude to control the phases of flight. For example, for a descent, climb, or to fly level, we set a power setting and set an attitude. And that will give us the profile we need for any of these maneuvers. The important thing is to know your power settings and attitudes. Once you set them and hold them, then you check on the instruments that you are holding it correctly.